It's December 2025. I'm James Hawkins, co-CEO of PostHog. We thought it would be fun to ask the same questions every single year until the end of eternity to see how they change. This is State of the Hog Year 1. Today, PostHog has about 160 employees. There are 10 that are charged for, and I think we have 17 in total. So there are a bunch that are like alpha or beta stage that are free at the moment. No. I can try. Are you timing? Are you ready? Product analytics, session replay, feature flag, experimentation, A/B testing, the array, PostHog AI, data warehouse, surveys, LLM analytics, web analytics, customer analytics, data pipeline, CDP, workflows. Did I say feature flags? Array. Was that 20 seconds? Was that all the products? Who knows? I think I would obviously say this. It's been one of the teams that we most focused on. PostHog AI I think has been a really big deal to get out the door because it will enable us to gradually start simplifying the UX for a ton of other products that we use. It lets users go much further. I could ramble on about this for ages. #exec. I think error tracking has also been a really big deal for us to ship, despite the fact I didn't list it in the products earlier. It's been much more successful than we thought. We have really strong competitors who are also very popular for individual developers on small projects, and that's really taken off, which has opened our eyes to a lot of other very engineering-oriented products and data types we should get into the platform. Our 2-year-old, I think the most amusing to me thing this year is if you say to him something like, "Who's a big boy?" If he does a good job of something, he goes, "Nope, small boy." So our 2-year-old considers himself a small boy, which is true. There have been a few underrated ones, but I think the one that I found the most entertaining was I posted a new sarcastic flight plan for people to get from Europe to San Francisco that involved going in a completely straight on the map, kind of line across, rather than following the curve. And I said that I used agentic AI to come up with this. I posted on LinkedIn, and a lot of the internet took it seriously and thought that I was one of two things, either a flat earther or that I'm just plain stupid. Neither is true. I learned that PostHog can innovate. The AI stuff in particular was exactly this. PostHog historically has had a pretty simple strategy, like we're trying to build all these tools in one place. They're tools that already exist. We always used to build products that have a billion-dollar competitor by design. For the first time ever though, the AI stuff we've been working on for a while didn't really have a strong competitor or any kind of precedent in the market. And I believe that product is super useful, and I think it will get much stronger still. And so it's the first ever time I think we've truly innovated at something. I wish we'd hired our sales team and kind of and we increased the size of our support team and our customer success managers and so on. Basically people that talk to our customers that aren't engineers have been incredibly helpful to us. Very specifically, it increased our retention. We got preempted for one of the bigger fundraisers that we've done like a year and a half ago or so. We couldn't get the valuation to where we wanted it to be because out of all our metrics, the only one that sucked was retention was kind of average. Everything else was top quartile or top percentile. And we realized in this process that, oh, hang on a minute, when we have a human being involved in our accounts, they are much more likely to tell us if they have a problem, and so we retain them because we can solve problems that we get told about. And so by adding a lot of people looking after all these accounts, our retention has hugely increased and it's improved our growth rate. So we're actually growing at a faster percentage rate now than when we were smaller. There are a variety of options for this question. One that was a little bit surreal, we ran a bunch of fake board meetings at a conference called Slush. There was like a hallway that people had to walk down to enter the boardroom. Everyone was wearing suits and ties. I had my fanciest Hawaiian shirt and a bright orange tie on. I was like employee of the month for every single month of the year on all these posters on the wall. But the actual board meetings themselves we ran were very serious and they were very full on trying to solve people's problems. I think the other contestant for this, we have spirit animals for every single team on our website, and we're probably the only company in the world that has that. But I would also say the entire website project we did this year. We redesigned our entire website to look like some sort of hybrid between a Windows Mac operating system with our own spin on it, with kind of a cozy background vibe. So that's probably the project that has been the ballsiest from a weird perspective, so I respect that one the most, maybe. There are two that spring to mind. One was I was walking along Market Street in San Francisco, and it was late at night, and I was slightly worried I was going to get murdered because it seems kind of dodgy. Then some dude, it was sort of misty or a little bit foggy, very dark, and some guy just yells out of his car like 200 yards behind me, "Hey, it's the PostHog guy!" Which is pretty cool. And I realized it was just a fan rather than someone trying to rob me. Or the second was Elon Musk finally replied to one of my shit posts online. So it's a toss-up between random dude in his car and world's richest man. I think that someone clever will come up with a way of building AI models that doesn't involve purely scaling things. I think there's so much incentive for this to happen, and there's so much funding sloshing around, and there'll be so much desperation to make that work that I think it will happen next year. I want to make PostHog much more useful for individual contributor type work rather than just being a little bit more teams oriented. I think we can make it possible to do things like respond to Slack messages from your boss, for example, instantly, and it can show you the draft and it can dig through your data. It seems odd to me that a lot of the tools that work is conducted in, like Google Docs or spreadsheets or whatever, are separate from where your team stuff is, like in Slack, and they're also separate from where your data is. And I think we can pull all this stuff together to a certain extent. I think they will feel much less complicated to get started with, much more automated. I think they'll be both simpler and far more powerful at the same time. And I also think they'll be more prosumer oriented. I think this is the trend in software. I think that's one of the big things AI has changed. It's gone a little bit unspoken. I think software is getting adopted in a prosumer kind of manner where I, as someone trying to complete some piece of knowledge work, will just start using an AI product to accelerate my job individually before I involve the rest of the team in the product. We've already built the bit that's the rest of the team. We've already got product-led growth going on. And now we need to move full over to like prosumer mode, I think over the next year, gradually. Absolutely no way.